then I said, "Hey, everybody! Welcome to Revlis Without a Castle, the Stone Lord's Folly." my name, my name is what is my name? Zach Savage. Hello, everybody.
Who am I today?
I don't know. I laughed at my own bit. That's embarrassing. Um, but hello, I am Zach Savage. I'm going to be your Lord Master this evening. Welcome to Rebels Without a Castle, the Stone Lord's Folly. I'm joined by my absolutely wonderful, fantastic, drop dead gorgeous cast of characters, and they are all going to tell you who they are, starting with Justin.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I am GM Justin. You can find me on all my socials at Forever GM Justin. You can also find me over at Roll D5, where we specialize in playing indie TTRPGs. I'm playing Dante, and I'm still left with the question of, is the Bible technically? No, I shouldn't go any further than that. And I'll pass it on to the next person, Pyrea.
Hey everybody, I'm Pyrea. You can find me on all socials as Pyrea. Find me on socials. I'm playing Espen, the Oblivion Ranger slash Druid. Let's popcorn over to I was gonna call you Seraphina.
Okay, kinda.
Close enough.
Hyacinth. Go, Hyacinth.
Hi, I'm Hyacinth. I'm at Hyacinth Wonders on pretty much all of my social media platforms, and tonight I will be playing Seraphina, the High Elf Cleric. Sam, take it over.
Sweet. Hi, guys. My name is Sam. I go by Utah Indie on Instagram and Twitch. Tonight I am playing the poor boy Revlis Noj, your resident pirate, and maybe in trouble, man? We'll figure that out. Also, do I believe in prayer? We're going to find out that as well. Popcorning over to you, Laura.
Oh, hi. Hello. Good evening, folks. You can call me Laura or Tutu or Lord Tutu. And if you want to see all of the things I do, you check out my website, lauratutu.com. Tonight, I am playing Orion Shieldbreaker, our barbarian fighter, Path of the Totem Warrior. And I don't know how she got here. She's just here and for some reason has been put in charge.
But
why does this keep happening to me?
Thank goodness she's here.
Guys, she's got an intelligence of 10.
That might have been it.
Smarter than me.
We could have been done already. But they got someone's got a head on their shoulders. All right, so the last time that we left our little crew, Dante managed to supersede all of travel by casting Find Steed. And not only did he find one steed, he found two. And they were horses made of ash and fire. A big shocking surprise to everybody. But the little horsies did expedite the process of getting to Short Reach Harbor, where you all ended up to look for the Shale Siren. At the Jagged Jetty, the bartender Buckle, Little Goblin, gave you all the information that you could possibly want in the most teeth-pulling way possible. And now you have a little side mission to hit up the Bones should you make it across the Sea of Elindrior. And now we are just patiently waiting for Revlis to lose the rest of his senses. As
have a breakdown.
We're there,
Revlis we're there.
Has not only lost the ability to taste, but it just recently lost the ability to smell, which is a big deal, believe it or not. Because if two go, it means you only have so many left. And that is where we are now. So, gang, things have gotten very dire very quickly.
If I'm remembering correctly, Revlis just hightailed it out of the tavern in a panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. So Ori's following, just without a word to anyone. Actually, no, there is a word, and it's quiet, but it's very succinct, and that word is fuck.
Very, very, very topical. Very nailed it. All right, cool. So you're chasing Revlis out the door. What is everybody else doing?
Seraphina was already running behind him.
Right.
Out there.
Yeah. Aspen would follow, like, immediately. Wait, what? They were being distracted. Yes. Okay, never mind. Wait, we're following. We're following.
What are we doing? What?
Come on, Dante, let's go.
Grabs coffee, proceeds to follow.
You see, like, a claw in the sea of people as she's going through the tavern.
Dante's hand immediately goes up to and just fall, mimicking the same thing. Just like,
I love it. Okay, so everybody speeds out of the door. Revlis first, Ori close behind with Serafina, Aspen, and then Dante. So as you burst out of the door, you see that the tiny streets are kind of bustling. There are tons of sailors who are just kind of like moving certain not luggage. What is the word I'm looking for here? Cargo. Cargo back and forth through the streets. There are some sailors that are just kind of enjoying their time on the land, and then merchants and such just kind of peddling wares in little stalls up against buildings, also peddling wares. So you can imagine real estate probably not super available here. But Revlis, you are currently, if I remember correctly, devoid of taste, which you've become accustomed to, devoid of smell, which is new, and you are hungry.
Yes. So last session, Revlis booked it out of that tavern. Stood around, kind of in the air, trying to get that deep breath, realizes he can't smell the sea, which is so close by. And whereas he would normally take a deep breath in through his nose and then out through his mouth, he is now just fully breathing through his mouth, kind of hyperventilating a little bit as he just looks around, freaking out at everything around him, noticing that he can't smell the dirt in the street, the stone of the tavern, the rum, the whiskey, whatever else is like wafting through the door, but most importantly, the sea. And as he looks around, he just kind of goes into crazed panic, and he's like, and just books right down the street towards the first alleyway that he can find, somewhere where he knows he won't be around people, or at least people that he doesn't know.
Tough shit. The party's following.
Is it safe to say that you are panicked?
Extremely.
Okay. Thank you. Cool. So I will let you make a. Are you attempting to do this stealthily or more like just gotta go?
It's definitely trying to be stealthy.
Okay.
But it's not the first thing on his mind. It's like, okay, don't alarm anyone. Go figure this out. Get your head right, and then go back and see what needs to be done. But right now, it's find some alone time. Find a space where no one is around.
All right. So here's what we'll do then. Would you please give me first a perception check?
Okay. Okay, that is a 9.
A 9. Okay, perfect. Now, will you please give me a stealth check at disadvantage?
You got it, boss.
Everybody else can roll me a. Let's go with perception. At advantage.
Ooh.
So Zach,
Mm-hmm.
first I rolled a natural 20. It's
Okay.
at disadvantage. Then I rolled a 17.
Okay.
Oh.
Which plus 7 for stealth puts me at 24.
Okay.
Oh.
Can anybody beat a 24?
26 with a nat 20.
Ooh.
There we go.
Let's
All right.
ranger.
Okay. All right. We're already
I
rolling
got
hot.
23, but I'm also still like, I was the first one out of that tavern to follow him. Like, I feel like I wouldn't be that far behind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no worries. I just needed one of you to do good.
Okay.
So, Revlis, you burst out of the tavern and take off down the street. You're having a hard time like identifying space, if that makes sense, just from the adrenaline and the panic and the busy streets, and you're kind of like you're bumping into all these people, and they're like kind of like shoving you back, and they're bumping you into other people, and you're kind of pinballing your way down this street. Luckily, nobody seems to be ready to scrap with you about getting bumped. And you know that you are very, very lucky in a town like this. Maybe they just can't catch up with you. But you do see this like slightest space in between the fish house and then what looks like some kind of like apothecary shop. And you're able to tuck into there. Espen, you being so small, are able to like weave in and out of this crowd pretty seamlessly.
Claw up in air still.
And with the nat 20, you are able to kind of like claw in the air and like military tax sign, like which way Revlis is going. And then
like
when
a
he
blinker.
and then when he ducks over, you're able to easily like pinpoint where he's cut into, and you are able to tail in and get everybody else on the same on the same track here. So Revlis, you have all of 5 seconds to yourself.
Okay, so as Revlis darts down this alleyway, he's breathing heavily. He just puts his head in his hands. He's like pulling at his long hair as he's just breathing through his mouth, still trying to figure out what is going on. And then as he like looks over, kind of like as he sees like shadows come into the alleyway, he looks over and sees everyone else. He says, "Oh fuck." Hi, I'm all right. Sorry, I just needed to come get some fresh air.
You don't look
Bullshit.
very all right. The fresh air looks like it made it worse. Does he look like a different color? Like very, very pale, sickly.
Paler
you don't
than
look
usual.
good. Yeah.
Oh. You know what? No, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine.
Revlis,
Yes.
are we working together on this or not?
Oh, yes, we are. And I hate it a little bit, by thunder.
You can fucking deal with it, my guy.
No, I'm not all right. I am much less than all right. In fact, I have not been able to taste for the last couple days, and I have not been able to smell since about 5 minutes ago. I don't know what to do. And it's all started since I saw what they did to that man back there in the grove. The one where we were all supposed to look away.
Oh.
Please, for the love of God, tell me that no one else made the same mistake that I did.
Little ears twitch. I am smelling fine and hearing fine, and I do not feel any difference. Are you sure that is what it was?
I keep having what I think is a vision in my mind. A vision of my throat being the one that's slit.
Ugh.
I wake up and my hands are covered in blood. Not sure if it's mine or his. But I know it's there, and then the minute I blink, it's gone.
That's not good.
It sounds like some really bad stuff that you're experiencing.
Okay.
You know what I like to do when I go through stuff like that?
Pray enlighten me.
Oh, whenever I get bad dreams of world domination and conquest, I just open my eyes and just state, I don't need a coffee. And then I just go give me a coffee.
I don't know if we have time to unpack any of that.
Unpack what? What are we unpacking?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Dante.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'm not going to worry about it.
You got your thermos, all right, Dante?
I
Got
do.
Coffee,
Okay,
good.
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 Okay, great. Okay. All right. Aspen,
Yes.
by your general admission there, I'm assuming you also looked back when we weren't supposed to.
I mean, like, kind of. Like, I didn't look, but my familiar did. And, like, so, yes, but no. So I think it's maybe, like, a little different than looking with my actual eyes.
So you saw you saw part of what happened, but you can still smell and you can still taste.
Yes.
Hey, Aspen, can you give me
Hey, Zach. What?
Hey. Hey, how you doing?
What's
Um,
up? What?
No, you hang up. Could you give me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, tight.
Yeah, 17 on the die, not on the die. 17 in total.
Okay.
Fuck you, Zach.
Don't like that.
You're a piece of shit.
One word, okay.
What was that for?
Great.
Okay.
You're a piece
When you
of
need,
shit.
supposed to mean?
when you need to know something, you'll know.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. Okay. So
Nope.
we can sit here and we can palaver about it, or we can find a temple and a cleric. Because I think that's going to be the fastest way to remove whatever has been placed upon you. Because, you know, considering the senses that have vanished, I don't think we want to figure out what decides to go next.
No, probably not. Revlis, you've been to this city, yes? Do you know where a temple is? Do we see like a large looming building anywhere close to us?
Fantastic question. Hey, Revlis, can
Amazing.
you make a Constitution saving throw, please?
Oh,
Oh, you.
yes. Yes, I can.
Motherfucker.
Oh, okay. It's an 18 on the die. Constitution plus 5, 23.
All right.
Nice.
This hunger is gnawing at you, but you do not currently feel overpowered by the need to feed.
You haven't told us about the hunger yet, right?
No.
Okay.
No, I have
I
not.
just wanted to double check.
Well,
I deliberately
So-
kept that one out.
Yep. That's what I
Um,
thought.
He will, like, kind of, as he's like starting to feel this pain, he's gonna kind of like clutch up towards his chest a little bit. Take a nice deep breath into the mouth, out through the mouth. Just really kind of focusing on that breath because he doesn't want to smell or purposely smell because he knows that that's just going to make things worse for him. As they're talking about finding a temple or anything like that, does Revlis remember anything about a temple being in this port town? I don't know if this is a place that Revlis has been specifically, but he knows similar layouts.
I would say probably in Revlis's, past life, you've been all up and down every major port town that there is. And Short Reach is definitely one of those. You know that Short Reach itself is kind of all work and no play, aside from the tavern.
Mm-hmm.
But the village situated up on the cliffside. So as you have it situated, you have the harbor, which is Short Reach Harbor, and then you have the village of Longfall that is set right on the cliff's edge. That is where you find more of your. Give me a history check real quick.
Yes, sir.
We have dice rolls for this, people. What am I doing?
Let's see. History. Oh, plus 0. 13.
13. Yeah, so naturally you spend way more of your time in the all work category. But you've wandered up the road. The view is incredible from up there, which is the perfect place to build such a humble, which most sailors are, um, offering sight to Deponomes, the god of the sea.
Okay.
Revelis, while we're kind of trying to figure things out, maybe I can do a little bit more than give you my words of wisdom. And then Dante's just going to come up, pull out like a little vial. It's of clear water. He's like, I heard some people do this one time, and it seemed to kind of work. So just hold still.
Dante,
Hold still.
Dante,
Hold
what are
still.
you
It's
doing?
fine. It's
Dante?
fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's going to pop the thing. I was like, put it on his thumb. Put it on his thumb again. It's just like here, and then it's just going to like do like some weird, what is it? Drawing with like water on his thumb, on Revlis's forehead, and be like. And to Dante, he's just repeating words, but as the player, it'd be casting protection from good and evil.
Oh, I love that. Have an inspiration. I like that a lot.
Dope.
I was so scared you were doing some sort of hex.
Dude, I was about to be sent to the 9th hell.
That's not our problem anymore,
this
guys.
helps. It fixes all mortal problems.
Boom.
I mean, it's not going to be an issue if you're not on the material plane anymore.
I mean,
True.
Oh, wait.
Astral
A win is a win.
A win is a win.
After Dante does that, he's just gonna like pat both of your arms, like we'll figure something out, and I hope they have snacks wherever we go.
All right, so you have protection from with the Fey Fiends, Celestials, Undead, I think is how that one works.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Also
Maybe I think
elementals
aberrations might be in
and
there too.
Yeah, Aberration sounds right.
Aberration, Celestials, Elementals, Fey, Fiends, and Undead.
Elemental's the other one I was forgetting too. There we go, perfect.
Mhm,
All right.
mhm.
Cool. So you feel like nothing else can get to you right now. But Revlis, you still cannot taste, you cannot smell. And that pit in your stomach is not going away.
So is there a temple?
There is a temple. There's one up in the village, up on the cliffsides, just a little bit further away. Temple to the god of the sea.
And that's all we need to know.
I guess so. Let's go then.
Ori's always been kind of taciturn, but this is like business. Like they have a problem, and she's gonna fucking fix it. And she will drag Revlis by the scruff of his goddamn jacket if she has to.
Amazing.
So Ori literally point me in the direction. Let's go.
Right up that street. Take the second left. I'll take you up and around a cliffside view. You keep going on that for about 2 miles, and you'll get to the top.
Good. Follow me. And Orion Shieldbreaker does what Orion Shieldbreaker is best at, is that she clears a fucking path.
Very good, very good. Point of order. Is anybody keeping the time?
Sure, Zach. Aspen's keeping the time.
I was just saying you do have a ship to catch. Just wanted to make sure we remembered that.
It's still,
What
but
is-
that's supposed to be the next day.
Right. Just checking.
Seraphina has a pocket watch, but I don't think she'd be looking at it, honestly.
Okay.
She's very concerned about this situation. While they're walking, can she do another medicine check on Revlis just to see if he looks worse? Like if his coloring's about the same or if it
Worse from
seems like...
the last time that you
Yeah,
did.
she
Yeah,
did it
sure.
at
Yeah,
the
go ahead and do
tavern
one.
Table.
Yeah. I was trying to remember the order of events. But yes, go ahead.
17.
17. Yeah, you see Revlis, his hair is kind of starting to, it just looks a little out of place. That lovely little windswept look looks like maybe it's swept the other way once or twice.
That's
His-
a medicine?
His cheeks
That's a
are
symptom?
like they're just getting a little too drawn in.
Okay.
He looks significantly worse than when you saw him 10 minutes ago.
Okay. Revlis is... Are you feeling worse than when we were talking earlier? Because you kind of... It sounded like before you just basically, like, felt like you needed to uneat sometimes, but you don't look good.
I don't feel any better or worse per se.
What about not per se? What about, really specifically?
I think it's just about time that I go and find a temple. I don't want to know how much worse it can get.
Can the god of the sea help with this?
Damned if I know.
Right.
I don't know if that's a god that I really want to seek the help of at the moment.
Is it a problem? Did you guys fight?
Let's put it that way. Yeah, that's a story for another time, though.
Okay. She's gonna like walk a little bit behind the group to where she feels like she's just about out of earshot, and then Vidal can be like, Cass, you might need some help, please.
Oh.
Yes, no, it does seem that your friend is in a spot of trouble, doesn't it?
Yes, and we would like to get him out of that spot, if possible.
So, Seraphina, you see Raz kind of like saddles up close to Revlis and is just kind of like looking like at his profile as you're all like walking down, and you see Raz takes out his little notebook that you always see him scribbling in. And then you see he kind of like reappears next to you. He goes, this is not really my forte, unfortunately. But it does seem that we are probably headed in the right direction, as he kind of like points forward. And you see he kind of like he like comes around the other side of you. He goes, but how are you feeling? How is everything working so far? Do you have any headaches or?
No, I'm fine, but Revlis needs like a lot of help. So the sea god can help? Is that what's
Possibly. And you see he dissipates and then reappears next to Revlis and is just walking and kind of looking at his profile, and you see he's like kind of like floating up in the air and like kind of like looking him directly in the face but like floating backwards. He goes, "Ooh, that is interesting. Um, so he can't taste or smell, is that correct? Is that what I'm understanding here?"
Right, and he said he had dreams about his throat getting slit and he wakes up with blood on his hands, which makes it sound like it's maybe not a dream, because I don't know where the blood comes from otherwise. He also said it happened after we met the Fae and he like looked backward. Do you know what it's doing?
Hmm.
It's...
He goes, "Well, interesting, interesting, interesting. All interesting information. Let me dawdle on back, and we'll circle back on this. I'm sure your friend is going to be fine. Everything is going to work out. He doesn't even actually look. No, he looks terrible.
Yes,
That's unfortunate. Well, humans, they age. It's a pesky thing.
Not in 10 minutes!
Well, in the grand scheme of things, like what is 10 minutes?
Very little time to be aging. In the grand scheme, it's even shorter.
Are you even certain that he was always able to smell?
I'll be honest, I'm not really sure what those two words are, but he used to be able to do them, and now he can't.
Right. Oh, my goodness, that's right. Exactly. 1 second. And you see Razlik goes back over to Revlis, and you see like Folly, like you see he's got the round, like the gold rimmed round glasses and this very sharp nose, and it's like kind of sleeked back long black hair, and just fully kind of puts his face into Revlis's head. And you see like he's like very like
bus.
like hunched over, and is like, as you can see on the outside, like still writing in his little notebook. It's like, okay, interesting. All right, perfect. All right, bad news.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what's wrong with him.
Okay.
Good news. And you see he like apparates back to you and takes his hand and just kind of like pokes his finger like in the side of your head for a second. And then pops it out. Seraphina, you are bombarded with the sensation of smelling the sea. The salt in the air stings your nostrils. You can smell like the sweat that has kind of like settled on Revlis' skin after like rushing through. You can smell the lingering smell of the rum, the not milk that you had at the Jagged Jetty. Just like a tiny little slash drop on your clothes, that sweet stinging smell. And all of these are, for all intents and purposes, brand new to you.
She's gonna like stumble backwards with the just stunned by the overpowering everything. And she's gonna be like, What did you do? No, we're supposed to be working on Revlis. What did you even do?
Oh, well, like I didn't do anything to him. I just it helped me. I've been working out this thing, and like seeing what's happening to him helped me to figure out something. So this is smell.
Okay. I guess that sort of helps, because then I know to get him back, like what is missing. But, if you can fix mine, can you fix his?
So you all are like steadily trudging up this like kind of like wide bend that's very steep uphill. And as you kind of like come around to the straightaway, you can see the settlement of Longfall with the Temple of Deponymes kind of like right on the edge of the cliff. And as you all kind of like make that bend into like the straightaway, Seraphina, Roz goes, listen, we will we'll touch back with this later. We'll see how this goes, and then we'll just, and then he kind of like swirls up and kind of disappears.
Okay. She's gonna walk a little faster to catch back up with the group.
Okay. Ori is single-minded and is path forward. That go. So unless there's anyone who will stop us, Lore Master, Ori is going to pull a full Aragon and push the doors of the temple open.
Perfect. Yeah. So as you all kind of like walk into this summit, you see like this is where all the government adjacent things are. Like there's a magistrate's office up here that looks like there's some kind of like holding cell or like a drunk tank. There's a theater. One singular theater. The sign is very, very worn down. But you see that the temple, it's a strong word for it. So as you approach the temple, you see that the temple seems to be constructed of like 2 or 3 ships that have all just kind of been arranged into a structure with some door holes and windows cut into it. And then at the top of the structure, you just see a like a rune stone with a blue circle with a long ship against it. But Ori, as you kind of like bust in through the doors, you see that there's a number of like clergy in here. It's not super like crazy inhabited, but the first somebody up at the front kind of like comes hustling towards you, and you see that it's a tiefling man. He's got one horn that seems to have kind of like been broken off and then filed. It's like a much shorter point. Grayish blue skin, and has a scar across like one eye. But he is wearing these like deep blue and kind of like seafoam white-ish arraiments. And he goes, hello, welcome to the Temple of Deponymes. Is how may I be of service to you this fine evening?
Revlis has gotten stone-faced. He's clammed up. He is not offering any explanation.
That's fine, because Ori's gonna do it for him. So in comes this like 6 foot plus sort of gray mauve skinned half orc with her like wild curly hair and that fuck off like battle hammer across her back. And in spite of her terrifying appearance, she just looks worried. This isn't an attempt at intimidation. This isn't an attempt to bully her way into getting what she needs. But this is someone that she's been traveling with, and like she generally enjoys Revlis' company, even when he's being a stubborn piece of shit.
Fair enough.
So as tough as she looks to this cleric and says, I'm so sorry to break in here so frantically, but I have a friend of mine. I think he's in desperate need of healing. I think he might have been cursed.
As the waves break against the rocks, so must we break upon the mercy of the old sailor. Let me take a look here. And you see he like scans, go, which one of you, and like lays eyes on him. It's like, this one, noted.
So he really looks like shit, is what you're saying.
Even more
Didn't
than
you
normal.
hear his hair is the wrong direction? This is awful.
That's right. My hair is normally laced to the left. Now it's to the right. Oh, no.
How could anyone not immediately notice?
It's a catastrophe. No, as Revlis locks eye contact with this priest, he's just gonna stare at him, and not in a welcoming way either. He's just going to look right into this guy's soul and just slowly kind of shake his head back and forth.
Oh. Sailor, have we crossed paths before?
No, but I know your kind. What price are you going to ask of me? To help a poor, unfortunate sailor like myself. What price is it going to be, cleric? Do I have to give up another loved one? Just for a little bit of attention.
You see, he kind of looks down and takes like a small, it's just a very small step back and looks back up. And he says, the price of a life on the sea is whatever the sea demands. But we are not on the sea. And at the moment, I would just like to see if I can help.
Then take a gander.
Very well. And you see he leads you guys over to this to like this like side room, and you see there's a table, and there's like all these like little bottles and like a couple like rudimentary like medical instruments. And as you come in, he goes, I know this isn't a shrine to deponymies in the traditional sense, but some of us believe that we do not necessarily facilitate an A to B healing. It is not God down to me, down to you. Sometimes we do have to do a little bit of work. Smooth seas never made a skilled sailor, after all.
And by that logic, you should have led with that. And Revlis is a little bit more willing to come forward and get checked out.
I will say this method hurts more.
No stranger to pain, friend.
Nor I. So he kind of sets you up on the table, and this room's like kind of cramped. So you guys are just kind of like pushed in the corner a little bit. While this guy takes a look at Revlis, and I'm so sorry I didn't catch your name.
Noj. Revlis. Noj. And who might you be?
Zarentez, but here they called me Tide Chaplain. It's more of a formal title, you understand. Z is just fine. That's what they called me in the Navy anyway.
You served in the Navy. Under whose order?
Ugh. And you see he's like futzing with some little bottles and stuff, and turns back and like points at like the scar over his eye, and he goes, apparently the wrong one.
I apologize. I shouldn't mock that, but all too familiar.
Well, some of us end up with scars on the outside, and some of us scars on the inside. Wouldn't you agree?
Revlis will just smirk, kind of not a full smile at all. It doesn't meet his eyes as he's just glaring kind of at this guy, but he'll acknowledge the jab.
Yeah, if you're real special, you get both.
And
Wait.
you'll see Zarentez kind of like looks back in your direction, Ori, and goes, more than often, yes.
Well, hopefully we don't get either of those things today. Z, right? And Aspen will just kind of like lean forward and give a little pat to the side of Z's arm as she gives a guidance, which you'll get a 3 on the next check that
All right.
he does.
All right. Perfect. So you see he kind of runs through like the normal like physical gambit, like takes like opens up and there's like this little crystal that he kind of shakes and it lights up and he like holds it into your eye, and then has you like follow it back and forth. And as he's like going over, are you like resisting any of this, Revlis?
No.
Okay.
Uncomfortable, but reluctantly following along.
Mm-hmm. And you see as he's like mostly like going over the noggin area, and he like tilts your head to the side a little bit. He goes, oh, what was this one? And you see he kind of gestures to your very new affliction.
All right, is that visible for him there?
So it's like it looks like an old scar.
Gotcha. Okay. This would be relatively new, as a matter of fact. I gained about 2 days ago.
It doesn't look new. And
I have a funny way of being perceived how they want to be.
Interesting. I would do better to know exactly what we think the problem is.
Or he
Any
just
have you
stares at Revlis.
have you been out of the country lately, or traveled any tropical climates, eaten
Ooh.
any undercooked food?
Maybe some
Undercooked
maybe
food, yes.
oh yeah, maybe some face stuff or mystical things or weird stuff, I guess.
Weird stuff.
Let's
Okay.
just say that we came across a rather strange ritual, of which I viewed, perhaps when I shouldn't have.
We were told not to look back.
Yes, Ori, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm so sorry, Sam.
I love this, man. This is so good.
His eyes going so far into the back of his head, he can see the problem himself.
I'm just a
See the little
skeleton.
gremlin piloting your brain.
It is unfortunately the nature of those of us who make our home on the seas to lovingly look back at the land as we leave it. So I suppose it is in our nature, isn't it, Master Nosh?
Aye, unfortunately it is. So,
Well, here is what I can surmise. You have a curse, but not in a traditional sense. I'm going to try to fix you. And it'll fix you. It'll do nothing. Or the third thing.
And what's, pray tell, that third thing?
Well, we could, in the event of the third thing, pitch you over the cliff and consider you lost at sea. If that sounds any better.
Ori stands up a little straighter, and the threatening aura has returned.
Hold on a damn minute now. Whoa. Do you guys have cookies here or not? I was promised cookies when we got here.
That. Oh. Espen pulls out reaches her hand in her bag and pulls out like a folded parcel and hands it to Dante like a toddler.
Dante will take it and then start chewing on it, and then we'll say, "Yeah, so you're not gonna throw him off the cliff. We'll throw you off before that happens."
Yeah, what he said, the second thing.
Seraphina's gonna go sit by Revlis and like protectively hold his hand.
Chaplain,
Yes, ma'am.
I understand if this is beyond your pale. Not everything can be quickly fixed. But I would appreciate it if at the very least we could all walk out of here in one piece.
One Piece might be asking a lot, I'm going to be honest. But we can do our best. All we can do is try. And you see, like, glances up because there's just iconography everywhere. There's longboats on blue seas. And when we can't try anymore, I suppose we try praying. I know. Odd coming from someone called a Tide Chaplain. But of all the gods, I always maintain that Toponymies is the most giving and the most unforgiving. That is the nature of the sea, after all.
Well, Master Z, I have your word that you'll let me retain my dignity should the third option be in play.
All right, so I trust you can swim.
As well as the next.
Good. How long can you hold your breath?
Enough.
I hate that question.
Yeah.
Don't like that.
Well, I certainly hope so.
Right. Well, you take whatever options you think we should try first. And then if all else fails, we'll see where we go from there.
Well, and you see he starts collecting all of these herbs and like little bottles of like tinctures and things and starts putting them into a satchel. This, when we get anything done here, we have to head back down and head a ways down the shore just a bit.
Fine.
Alrighty then. Wait patiently for him to gather his picnic basket.
He goes, well, he's got all this stuff together, and he goes, all right, to the Purging Cove we go.
Ooh.
And that's where we're going to take a little break.
Fuck me.
This will be
Nice.
fine.
So we'll be
It's
back.
fine.
We'll be back in like 5 to 7.
Huh.
We're gonna set up some stuff. Revlis is gonna have a great time, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere because you're gonna want to see what happens next.
So then I said, oh.
Afterwards.
Hi everybody, we're back, and the bits are strong.
Yeah, they are.
Welcome back to Rebels at a Castle, the Stone Lord's Folly, episode 7. We are getting ready to get into some experimental healing. Trying to get rid of Revlis's situation. Here, the crew has just arrived at the Temple of Deponomies on the cliffside, the city or town of Longfall, to try and get him fixed up before they make their grand voyage across the water. So Tide Chaplain Zerontes has guided you guys kind of back towards like the way that you came. And you kind of pass by Short Reach proper. But you're really sticking to like kind of close to like the cliff side here. And he's really careful to like kind of point out where you should step and where you shouldn't step, because you guys are essentially like boulder hopping a little bit, like just along the coast. So if everybody could give me some dexterity checks. Athletics or acrobatics, I guess, would also like probably be more straightforward.
Got 14.
The barbarian is going for athletics.
Smart.
The paladin is going for acrobatics.
Interesting.
Spider is going for acrobatics.
Interesting.
Also acrobatics.
All right.
False.
So you all
Seven's
cartwheel
so
along
acrobatic.
all of these.
19.
Okay. Revlis, what'd you get?
26.
Okay, Seraphina.
Wait.
I got 14.
Okay. Dante.
I thought it was pretty good until you did that.
Oh, that's a nat 20 plus 5.
Oh, okay. Perfect. So you all, it's slick. I mean, this is water being eroded by rock, or rock being eroded by water over and over and over again. Not the other way around. That's not how the elements work.
I just punch water
nice.
with rocks over and over.
Yeah. And everybody's getting by like, oh, pretty okay. Seraphina, this whole new like sensory thing that you have going on in your nose is really kind
Very
of keeping very distracting.
Ew.
So many new smells.
Some good, some bad. It's
Um,
just a lot.
Dead
But
fish smells.
yeah, essentially, yeah. You're now experiencing low tide, which is not great.
Yep.
And that wave of just like decaying like plant matter and fish and salt on rocks just kind of smacks you a little harder than you thought it is going to. That you don't like see this wave coming like where you're at. But
And I grabbed her.
I will say everybody else did well enough where we could
Whoop.
probably, yeah, go ahead, just give me a strength check to hold on to her. And
Yeah. That's
Yes, I did it.
21. I think
Alright, yeah.
I think what happens is Ori like sees that Seraphina's like bobbling and then sees this wave and just sort of like grabs her by the forearm and like hoists her up onto her back.
Her eyes are just a little glazed over as she tries to assess every scent in the world at once.
Fair.
You're gonna make it there.
Yeah, no, I was good. I was just, thinking, yes.
Okay.
Hey,
You
oh.
you were about to get dragged into the riptide, so why don't you just hold on for a bit?
Okay, thank you. Yes.
So, Ori, and this might be the weirdest question I've ever asked in a
Christ.
D&D game. What does Ori smell like? Listen, there was no
wild
there was no
behavior.
there was
Wild.
no-
Absolutely wild.
this one's for the goons. What does Ori smell like? No.
Never say that again. Never say that again to me, Zachary.
I'm dead. I'm dying.
No.
There was no like more chill way for me to ask this question. I'm so sorry.
No.
I think that's
fair.
where we stop the stream, right? Cut the tape.
Oh, Justin's on the floor. Justin's on the floor.
Oh, fuck you guys. You know why I'm asking this question, okay?
It's everything
Listen,
else.
you're the one that brought up the Gooners, man.
I should have guessed, and I just did not even see that coming at all.
Okay. Okay. Orion Shieldbreaker smells like the lemon oil that she uses to upkeep her weapons. She smells like well-worn leather. And strangely enough, there's a little bit of rose water.
Oh?
We love a skincare queen. Let's go.
Listen. If there's one thing about any of my characters, they will never be fucking ashy.
I love it.
Reach.
I love it. Laura, take inspiration for answering the question so succinctly and also just answering the question, period. And also, I'm sorry.
I love you. It's
How dare I during Pride Month, honestly. So
queerphobic.
perfect. So you're getting all of these scents for the first time, Seraphina, as like you just kind of get like aggressively thrown into Ori's back.
I was thinking about having her comment, but she wouldn't have any of the descriptors for that. She can't say like, oh, you smell citrusy. She has no idea what that's like. She's got no reference point. So I think she'd just make like a little noise, just be like, and then move on.
Okay. All right. Now let's move on from
doesn't
this
know
whole
what
thing.
to say about that.
Very good.
Like,
Very good.
oh.
New and interesting feelings.
Yep, this is wow. That is a smell. That's the only word I have for. I've been told this was smelling. That's all I know.
Everything is sorted into good and bad. All right, cool. So
I could
you
have her
do
just
this.
creepily lean forward and say she smells good, but
But-
yeah, it's good and bad would be the only descriptors.
And we're back to gooning.
Right?
How do you smell? You don't smell. Backhanded compliment. You don't smell bad.
Actually?
All right.
Okay.
So Zerontes kind of guides you guys along these rocks and brings you to this kind of cave that's in the cliffside, and kind of gestures for all of you to kind of follow behind him. And you see that there are all of these like stalactites and stalagmites. Inspiration to someone who knows the difference.
One is on the top and one is on the bottom. I can't remember which one.
The stalactites come from the ceiling, stalagmites come from the ground.
That's right. All right. They cling tight to the ceiling, and then they
I
might
didn't realize
reach the
we were
ceiling.
playing ourselves smarter than a fifth grader.
Lovely.
Yeah. Well,
I thought this was D&D. My bad. I didn't come prepared.
which
Quick
is
question as well. Which one grows first?
Oh, that I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
The
Stalactites.
That makes
Because
sense.
stalactites drop the water from the ceiling, and then the stalagmites grow where the water has been dropped.
Ooh, yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I didn't know that. The more you know.
The more you know. This is now a geology education stream.
I'm
We
gonna
got
update
an
the
awesome
tags
cave here in
for
Utah
education.
Yeah.
that teaches you all about that stuff. So it's great.
It's all about versatility on Twitch.
Mhm.
All right, so you see Zarentes guides you all into this cave, and you see that some of the stalactites kind of like softly like pulse with this like really dull blue light. And so you're in like a dim light situation for everybody that matters for, which I think might just be Reckless. You haven't lost your sense of sight, but it is severely debilitated in comparison to everybody else.
Now you're not sure.
Welcome to being a human, baby.
Wait, guys, guys.
No.
Oh, nope. Everything's fine. Everybody's fine.
Okay.
We're good,
You know what?
we're good.
No. What's gonna happen is Ori's already got Serafina like piggybacked. She's just gonna put a hand on Revlis's shoulder and like just gently, like she's not like puppeting him, but it's very like tap tap to turn right, tap tap to turn left, tap tap to turn forward to keep going forward.
Up,
without a
down,
word.
down, left, right. A, B, start. You now have a Ferrari.
That's right.
So you go this way for a while, and you see more of the same like kind of like faint like pulsing. Anybody want to give me a nature check?
I mean,
Yeah.
yes, but it's gonna be
I
bad.
do.
Sure, just for the lulls. It's a -1 anyway.
10.
All right.
19.
Ooh.
Zero?
Zero.
Zero, Dante.
Oh,
Love those negative modifiers.
oh,
I know
this
what
makes
you're
me
talking
so
about.
happy.
I know what
Okay,
you're talking about.
so Ori is who gives a shit?
It's a fucking cave.
It's
It's
Cave.
wet.
It's a
It
fucking
smells like
cave.
fish.
It is damp and chilly, and we've got more important things to worry about.
Espen, you as you're like walking through and seeing all of these like glowing stalactites, you see like the little beads of light kind of like move kind of like move on their own a little bit, and you are able to kind of suss out that there's like these like really tiny bioluminescent bugs that are like make their home in these little stalactites.
Gross.
Dante, I think the cave is on fire.
Wait a second. There's no heat around here. Where's the light coming from? Aspen.
What? What's your head?
Bonk.
Oh, no. Are you okay?
There's lights going on around here, but I don't see any fire.
Well,
and I
you
don't
just
feel
hit
the
your
heat from the
head.
fire. No, they're still
Well,
there.
What do you mean fire? There's no fire. I mean,
You're just gonna
besides...
point.
Is
No.
that
What are the
is-
lights?
No, they're
Is that one?
bugged.
Is that one also cursed? Like, is he? What's his deal?
No,
No.
chap, don't worry about it. Don't. That's just That's just Dante. He's fine. He's fine. He's fine.
Oh.
He's excited and worried for all of us because
Mhm.
I've never seen these bugs either. As she like puts her claw down to like see if are the bugs are they inside or
They're
on
like,
the outside?
yes, they are
Okay,
like
cool. So
crawling.
one
Like,
would crawl on her claw if she put it down. Maybe.
well, you have to put it up. They're on the
Okay.
stalactites.
Then I put it up.
So yeah, so you see, you know, and it's like this little, it's like this tiny like little isopod looking thing.
See?
And
Look,
the,
Dante. Shoots.
What is it?
It is bug. It is a bug. I don't know what kind of bug, but it's what's making the light. Look, match them. Here, put it on your hand and match them to the others.
Dante will
Oh.
like put his finger up, and then as soon as it hops onto its finger, it's like a cute little moment before it suddenly spurts into fire. I don't think it was supposed to do that.
Oh,
Yeah. No, yeah. Oh.
oh! Don't touch, Dante.
Oh,
Keep your
don't.
hands to yourself.
It's okay. This cave is full of, we call them sea sprites, but we have plenty. Don't worry. The circle of life continues.
Love that one of
Oh, we
Seraphina's like first 10 cents is burnt bug. Super
Oh,
great.
oh, baby.
Definitively going into the not good.
Oh, yeah. Let's not touch the sea sprites.
Okay,
Okay.
no touch sea sprites.
Yeah, we'll figure out later why that's happening.
Dante, buddy, do me a favor.
Yes.
Take your arms, cross them.
I thought you were going
Over
to tell
your-
me to throw the chaplain into something, but I
No,
can do that.
decidedly
Wait a
not. Cross your
minute.
arms over your chest and leave them there, please.
Okay, can do.
Thanks, bud.
You're welcome.
Seraphina's gonna like fold her arms over Ori's head and lean down and be like, we sure he's not cussed? Like, a little bit. He can't
Right, you know
remember
what?
past a year ago and he seems really odd.
We could potentially like ask, but let's take care of Rev first, and then
Yeah,
we
let's
can
do it
dive
after.
into that one. One problem at a time, right?
Right.
And she kind of reaches back and like tweaks Seraphina's nose.
Adorable. So you walk a little more, and then you see that the cave itself begins to open up, and you're suddenly in this massive antechamber, with this like underground lake. And there's still plenty of like stalactites on the ceiling, giving it like a faint glow, but it seems like the water itself might also be full of these sea sprites. All right, so this is where we do this. So ground rules for this little situation. You are going to be so uncomfortable during this whole thing. I cannot stress that enough.
Master Z, can I ask a question?
Sure.
How many times have you done this?
Twice.
And of those 2 times, how successful have you been?
Once.
Right, that's good enough for me then.
Yeah, 50-50.
Are we sure we don't want to throw him?
No, Dante.
Okay.
Hey, what do you need from me then?
Going to need you to leave your weapons here on the shore. And don't take anything into the water that you don't want to get wet.
Right. So Revlis will go ahead and he'll pull off his large blue overcoat. He'll just put that to the side. He's got a long waistcoat on. He'll go ahead and unbutton that. Underneath, he's got his pirate blouse, just a white shirt. He takes that off as well, but leaves his trousers, his boots, and like a couple of his belts on. He does take a pouch with his ammunition, his pistols, everything else like that. He sets them to the side, but looks at the pistols for a second. And instead of setting them there, he picks them up, twirls them in his hands, and then walks over towards Ori and Serafina and reaches the two pistols, puts the two butts of the pistols up towards Serafina and says, "Look after those for me, will you?"
She'll take them and say, I can't, but I could go with you, too.
That's all
And
right.
But what if you can't get back out by yourself?
So that is where all of you come in. I will also be going into the water.
Okay.
And if it looks like I'm not going to make it out, I would very much appreciate it if you did everything in your power to get me out.
With respect, Chaplain, you're less the one I'm worried about.
Well, and you see he started like taking off his like big robes. And you see he's got like all of these like sailor tattoos. He's got like the sparrow and like rigging ropes. And
Dope.
it's so cool.
Chappies are so cool, man.
Yeah. And he goes, so the thing is, if I look like I'm not going to make it out, then he's already gone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Got it.
Oh, we can't hear you, Laura.
Damn it.
You looked really cool, though.
Fee. She says to Serafina,
Yeah? What?
I'm gonna set you down over here, and she points to, like, I'm assuming there's like an outcropping next to this pool. I'm gonna set you down over here because I think between the four of us, I'm probably gonna have the best chance to get people out.
Are you good at swimming?
Yeah. And if worse comes to worse, well, you've seen me. I'm very strong.
Okay, because I read a book on swimming, so I think I could figure it out. If I need to.
Sweetie. She'll point to the chaplain. And you take him with you is the question.
I think so. I mean, like the water's supposed to make people lighter. Can you basically just
Hi,
sail around?
Serafina, remember me. Hi, yes, your friend. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Okay, I'll wait here with the guns. She's gonna like hug them.
And
It's a safety
similar
one.
to, I hope so.
I hope so.
Similar to Revlis, Ori's gonna set down her warhammer, her hatchets. And she's gonna basically strip out of her outer layers, and just kind of like do one of those to sort of get the joints moving. All right.
I guess we're doing this then. And Revlis will like finally take off his like last layer, his shirt. And for everyone watching that can see in the dim lights, Revlis has a number of scars across his back, but also tattoos. He's got a large compass on the back of his back. On his forearm, he's got a trident and a wave motif that's kind of going over the rest of the arm. He's got a anchor and a sparrow and a sunrise on the other arm. And then he's got a couple names across his shoulders as well.
What are the names?
The names that are written there is Tanya, Nedlog, Liara.
Ori clocks
Mental
this and says
notes.
nothing.
Yeah, mental notes.
Nobody say a fucking word. So you see Zerontes is also like bare from the waist up and has his trousers on, has taken his boots off. And he has his little satchel and goes, after you, straight to the middle.
Right. Revlis is going to take a look at the pool for a second. Can you kind of gauge how deep it is starting off, or does it look like it's pretty deep right from the go?
Give me a nature check.
Got it. Oh, not bad. 15.
15. So whereas you expect it to be a little more like slopey, like a natural like down into it, it looks like you're almost stepping into like a pool. Like the shore is here and then you are in water.
Okay.
It is, and it's very opaque. It's very hard to see. There are like you can see not so much like the sea sprites themselves like floating around in the water, but you can just kind of like see their pale light that's kind of like reflecting off of whatever is keeping the water so opaque, whether it be sediment or something else. But you can't really gauge how deep it is.
Okay. Well, without being able to gauge that, Revlis will do kind of like a little bit of a shallow dive. Just one arm up, other arm up, dive on in, and then as he hits the surface, kind of dolphin kick his way up towards the top, and then gets to the middle of the pool.
All right, so when you say shallow dive,
It's like a racing dive.
like how you would like maybe dive into like a 4 foot deep pool.
Yeah, something like that.
Just shake your head yes.
Yes.
Okay. I was like, oh god, no. Concussion.
I've done it before. It's fine.
I've also gotten a concussion from diving in the short end of the pool, I understand. So you head in and everybody sees the Tide Chaplain just like steps down into it and starts wading out into the center. All right, Revlis, now that you're here, you're in probably like in just over your belly button. And you see Zerontes pulls out some herbs and a couple of the tinctures and just kind of like gives them like a palm shred, just kind of like grinds them up a little bit in the hand and kind of sprinkles them out vaguely around you. And you see he takes the tinctures and throws them in the four corners. You would note them as the cardinal directions. And from the satchel, he takes out this. It vaguely looks like a map compass, like the cartography tool.
Right.
And you see he dips it in the water and he starts, I mean, it looks like he's charting in the water. Give me either a history or a nature check, whichever way you'd like to go.
That is so fucking cool. 11.
All right. 11. You initially you think that it's kind of like here and there. Like they don't really seem to be like coordinating to anything. But then as you kind of like glance up, you see these sea sprites that are on the ceiling start clumping together and forming what look like constellations. And you see some very familiar ones. You see um, the Great Serpent, and you all can see like all of this happening. You see like the ceiling starting to become kind of like a mimic of the night sky. Um, but you see the Great Serpent. You see the sword and the shield of the Great Guardian, and as you kind of like level back down, you see these same kind of starlights reflected in the eyes of the Tide Chaplain. And he speaks, and it sounds like not just his voice. And he says, "From the sea, we all emerge, and to the sea, we all return." And you see the tattoos on his arms start to light up, most notably the rigging rope tattoos. And then he brings his hand up and places it on top of your head. And he says again, "Into the sea we must return," and dunks you down into the water. Give me a constitution check real quick to see how much air you can get.
Okay, Constitution. So just
I'll say with advantage because he did ask you how long you could hold your breath.
Gotcha. Okay, so just roll the d20, add my Constitution modifier, right?
Make it a saving throw. Probably
Saving throw.
more
Okay.
apt. More apt. It's very sudden.
Okay. Okay. 17 plus 5, 22.
22. Perfect. All right. That's a good start.
Start?
So you all see that just like in the middle, and I mean, you're probably about 40 feet to like the center of the pool. So you guys are like 40 feet away on the shore. And so you just see like a lot of light coming off of the cleric, and then Revlis goes under. Revlis, when you go under, you open your eyes and you are staring directly into your sister Tanya's face.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
And she is exactly as you remember her last. Blonde hair with a bullet hole in the center of her chest. And she says, "It's never enough for you."
It could have been. Our family could have been.
You take, Revlis. You are a taker. You took money, you took authority, and you, as much as you refuse to think, took my life.
That's not true. Tanya, you know that's not true. That can't be true.
Would I have been there without you?
Stop. Stop. That's not why we were there. We were both trying to make it through for Nedlog. You know that. You know that. We were just trying to make things better. Maybe I did go too far. Maybe we went too far.
And tell me now, are things better now?
Revlis won't answer that one. He'll just stare back at her and he'll try and reach out his hand to try and kind of brush her cheek.
Give me a charisma saving throw, please.
Oh boy. There's one stat Rev is not good at. Okay. 18 subtract 1. 17.
Okay. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. You begin to get this sense of overwhelming guilt. Now, this is guilt that you've certainly felt before, but it begins to creep in much more aggressively, and you are able to shake it away to keep you from fully succumbing. And then you see, as you go to reach out for Tanya's face, your hand passes through, and you are looking into the face of Captain George Lowe.
You.
And he repeats the words that Tanya said. You're a taker, Revlis. No one knows that better than me.
No one should. You never deserved anything that you had.
And so it was yours to take. A bit of a pattern, isn't it?
Stop, stop, stop.
And as you're looking into his face, you see that he's not as you remember him when you left him stranded on a dinghy with no oars. You see he is voraciously sunburned. Bits and pieces of like skin flaking. His lips are like cracked and bleeding. And goes, no, it's never your fault. It's never your fault.
You must lie in your bed the way you made it. You, of all people, taught me that, George.
And it seems you just might, lad. You just might. Can I have another charisma saving throw, please?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure. It's a 2.
Oh, buddy.
Just a 3 subtract 1.
Okay. Okay.
This feels right, though. This feels right.
So with this one, you see he reaches out to you, um, and like kind of goes for your throat. On the shore, the rest of you see where the water has been very still. Revlis begins to thrash against the chaplain.
Is he drowning?
We can still see them both. I think that is okay, right?
Wait. And Ori shucks off her boots. She strips out of her top layer down to her like bindings. So the necessary bits are still covered. But oddly enough, similar to Revlis, she has stripings across her back, old scars. That mean she has absolutely been flogged. And she doesn't get into the water, but she gets herself right up to the edge. And she just mutters under her breath, "Come on, Revlis. Come on, you stubborn old bastard."
Espen, do I need to take my clothes off too and wait for something?
No. Just keep your hands crossed. It's okay.
Okay.
We'll wait. We can still
Okay.
see them, and Ori's got it. We will plan B if something goes wrong. Okay. If Ori goes down, then you grab.
Dante,
Yes.
I know I told you to keep your arms crossed, bud. And she's like staring at the water as she says this, not taking her eyes off of Revlis and the chaplain. Can you do me a favor and at least get your armor off?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
You just start hearing the sounds of clink and clanking as he starts taking off his armor and just kind of doesn't go to the extent that you are, except he'll keep most of the clothes on except for the shirt just because he's going to be a little vain about it. And just kind of like wait. But kind of like wait while also just kind of like arms crossed and just like watching.
Fighting
No
back.
signs of flogging for him.
Noted. So, back under the water, Revlis, you what happened to George Lothar never entirely sat right with you, but at the time you figured you were younger, stronger, faster. It was bound to happen eventually. You feel this aching guilt in the pit of your stomach. And as George reaches out to grab you by the neck, the specter changes again. And you are looking at yourself. You're a taker, Revlis. We are takers.
Hello, you ugly bastard. Maybe we are. but maybe we were. Let me ask you a question. Rather make a statement. What's the one thing that's kept us from taking those pistols and pointing them right towards our own head for the last couple of years? What is the one thing that we have been striving to do and striving to right? Our family's gone. Or at least if they're still out there, they don't want us anymore. Do we really want to end up like Dad did? Alone in a tavern, rum soaked with our hearts stopped? Or do we want to find a purpose? Because that purpose is sitting out there, on that shore, holding the two things that we have from our family the most. That isn't taking. And if there's one thing that I'm most proud of in this life, it's finding a reason to start going beyond myself. She's that reason. She doesn't have what we wanted, but this could be it. So do you want to be a taker? Tell me, Long John, do you want to be a taker?
You see this visage of yourself begins to smile, and it is almost a smile too wide. And he says, "You think that what you're doing out there isn't taking. You're taking these poor fools for a ride. Your last big hurrah because we couldn't be content to sit and die in a tavern of our own making. You want one last big hurrah before you bite it. And then your bones will fade to dust and no one remembers your name. At least, not the name you go by now. And which one would you like to be remembered as? Long John." May I have another charisma saving throw, please?
Yes, you may, DM. $14.
I believe I handed you an inspiration at some point, and I
You
highly recommend
did.
Please use it.
that you use it.
I will use that 1 point of inspiration that I have to reroll this. Charisma saving throw, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. 17.
You see the visage of yourself smiles, and the smile becomes too wide as the head kind of splits and opens, and you are now staring at the Bramble King, took something that wasn't yours to take. And now we have taken something of yours. What will you give us to have these things returned to you?
What be ye accepting?
That wasn't our question. And you see, as he begins to speak, there's also a more feminine voice that seems to be echoing at the exact same time, asking the exact same questions. We will require another pig for slaughter in, 100 years or so. 100 years is a long time for your kind.
Revlis will echo his own words, words that were told to him by his mentor, George Lowther, in his head. And he'll look back at the Bramble King. Just stare at him in his cold eyes with his own cold eyes.
As you're staring into these eyes, you see a briefly and intermittently, the face of the Lady of Bones is like doing kind of like a three-dimensional like fade in and out. It's like they are both present here.
You must lie in your bed the way you made it. I'll fetch you a soul. See that I make it to that mark.
And you hear all of the voices that you have heard today. A taker through and through. And you feel the Tide Chaplain's hand come off of your head as you are just about to run out of air. And you all see Revlis stands up, and you see all of the lights in the cave go out very briefly. And that is where we are going to end our session.
Zach, how dare you? Like maybe like 15 more minutes. Like just come on, 15 more minutes. Please.
I feel like there is a lot to discuss.
There's
we might not get to in 15 minutes that I would love to dedicate another session to. Friends, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. It's always a pleasure to have you here, and we are so grateful that you guys come and see the story that we are all building together. Thank you so much to my cast for being wonderful players and just people in general. If you want to see what happens next, make sure you come back next week. And if you're not sure what's happened up to this point, go back and check out our YouTube. It's the exact same handle, where all the episodes are posted, and you will know exactly what is going on while these five figure out exactly what's going on. So until next time, my name is Zach Savage. You can find me on all of the socials at Zach Savage Lore. You can also find us on the Discord, the Rebels at a Castle Discord, where I'm sure we will be talking about a lot of things. Talking, screaming, yelling, crying.
All of the above.
Hell, we're all going to be doing that. So we will see you next week. And of course, as always, if you had any issue with any of the calls that I made tonight, as a DM of this campaign, you can find me behind the Denny's on 422, and we will settle it. And with that, I'm going to turn over to my cast. I'm going to tell you who they are, what they're doing, and where you can find them. Starting with Hyacinth.
Hi, I'm Hyacinth. My handle's at Hyacinth Wonders on all the social media platforms. When I'm not here, I do cosplay skits, game, and scream into the void because what just happened? And I was playing Seraphina the High Elf Cleric. Yeah, somebody else go.
Justin.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I am GM Justin. I already told you where you can find me. All my socials, they're all the same no matter what. I have been the one that has been saying the most out of pocket shit both in chat and in our private chat for where we're streaming at. And so if you want to keep up with everything we're doing, go ahead and join the Discord, ask those questions. And I have no problem saying that, Zach, I'll be there here in the next 15 minutes, so I'll see you then.
Baby.
But in the meantime, it is Crit Award season, and there are a lot of creators out there. Please go ahead, check out everybody's that is a finalist, including myself. Yes, I'm trying to win. I'm trying to take the dub this year. But that's not just about me. It's about the amazing community of creators that we have out there. So please check us all out, vote, and I'll pass it over to Pi.
Hi, everybody. I'm Pyrea. I have no idea what's going on right now, and I'm so for it. Hats off to Sam and Zach right now. I'm shook. You can find me as Pyrea everywhere. I got nothing else to say. Laura, take it away.
Hi, hello, good evening, folks. You can call me Laura or Tutu or Laura Tutu. You can usually find me on the internet as some iteration of _ Laura Tutu, depending on where you look. Blue Sky, I'm lauratutu.qcg.social because I don't understand why those fucking handles are so long. If you want more details about where you can find me and what I'm doing, you can go to my website, lauratutu.com. And the next time you see me will probably be in the parking lot of that Denny's as I mollywop our DM into oblivion. Thanks. Take it away, Sam.
Laura, I'm on my way to pick you up.
Yeah, don't forget me on the way there too.
Yeah. We'll see you soon, boys.
Oh boy.
Hi guys.
Last but not least, Sam.
Thanks so much for joining tonight. Thanks for putting up with my voice more than you should have to tonight. I have been your resident pirate, Revlis Noj. I am found at Utah Indie on Instagram and Twitch, and I am a taker.
And as your head breaks the surface of the water, you taste the salt of the lake and smell the dank, wet air of the cave. We'll see you all next week.